Hi, this is Mike with Apple Irrigation. I'm the Valley Center Pivot dealer in Hastings, Minnesota. Today I'd like to talk to you about variable frequency drives. So what is a variable frequency drive, or VFD as it's mostly known as? Variable frequency drive is this big honkin' white box, and it takes the place of a conventional pump panel to not only start your pump, but also control the speed. In our area, we have a lot of irrigators off of one well. So we have a long irrigator and we might have a very short irrigator. Well, the short irrigator, we can't apply the same amount of water that we can the long one, so we actually have to slow the well down and reduce the water requirement. Before VFDs came into the scene, this was very difficult to do, actually almost impossible. The grower ended up throttling a valve down to limit the amount of flow to the irrigator, which is very, very wasteful in energy. So a VFD will allow us to control the speed of the pump, and the way we do it is based on pressure. So we'll tell it, hey, pivot A, I want you to maintain, say, 55 pounds of pressure. Pivot B, I want you to maintain 35 pounds of pressure. It's using what's called a pressure transducer, which is right here, to measure the water pressure, and then pressure data goes into the drive and it will just maintain that pressure that we set for. Valley variable frequency drives are actually made by Yaskawa, and Yaskawa has given us some very specific software for us to use in our application. Variable frequency drives are used all over the world for many, many different things, but in our application, pumping water to center pivot irrigators, they've added some really nice features that allow us to change the pressure on up to 4 pivots and also slowly fill the pipeline and slowly fill the irrigator, and also slowly increase or decrease the pump speed. The other nice feature for variable frequency drives is that we can use it for phase conversion. Most center pivot motors have to use 480 volt 3-phase power. The motors are quite large in our area, typically 75 to 100 horsepower motors, and without 3-phase power, they just won't work. So if we don't have 3-phase power available, we can also use the drive to create 3-phase power from single-phase power. So that is a really nice feature also. Let's fire up the drive and see how it works. We're going to use our Valley 365 app to turn on the irrigator, which will also turn on the well. So I'm going to hit send. It's going to send the command to turn things on. In this case, our pre-lube tank automatically fires. This is all programmed into the VFD. And then the well motor starts up very slowly. Now we can come to the VFD and we can watch the speed. We're watching the VFD ramp up very slowly to its operating pressure of 57 pounds. In a conventional well pump, the well pump will go from 0 to full speed in about a second or two. The variable frequency drive starts the well up very, very slowly. And the nice thing about this is it keeps your demand charge very low because it's not putting a huge surge on the electrical line. In fact, most utilities really like this feature, and they'll actually give you a rebate if you install a variable frequency drive. The other nice thing about a variable frequency drive is it prevents the motor from drawing any more amps than what it's allowed to. So we'll program in the nameplate amps, and if the motor wants to draw more power than what it's rated for, the drive will automatically slow down. So in this case, we're showing current limit fold back. It means that the variable frequency drive is slowing down the well's speed so that it limits the current going to the motor. this particular customer's well, this is actually perfectly normal on startup. A variable frequency drive can also allow you to speed the motor just a little bit faster than what it's rated for. In this situation, we're right now running at 60.8 hertz or so. We have this motor set to actually run at about 61 hertz wide open, just to get the maximum amount of water out of the well. 60 hertz is actually wide open for an electrical motor. So it's telling us right now that we're limiting it, and it's holding it at 60.8 hertz. This display is showing us that, hey, we're asking for 57 pounds of pressure. Right now we only have 48 pounds of pressure. Now the irrigator is full. It's giving us 57.5 pounds of pressure, and we're asking for 57. So it's holding it, the pressure, very, very close to what we're asking for. As the end gun comes on or off, the flow requirement becomes greater or less, and the motor will automatically slow down and speed up to maintain the exact amount of pressure that we need. Variable frequency drives are also really nice for corner arms. Corner arms, when they come into a corner of the machine, they tuck in and they shut a lot of sprinklers off, which reduces the flow of the machine considerably. The variable frequency drive through the pressure transducer senses this and automatically slows down the motor, saving you energy. When the irrigator shuts off, it'll also shut the well off, and the variable frequency drive will actually slow the motor down slowly rather than shut it off immediately. This is kind of what it looks like. We've got the water shut off. The motor is slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Nice and easy to keep the least amount of stress on the equipment. In my opinion, one of the greatest values of the variable frequency drive is not only having one, but the way it's programmed. If you buy a VFD from us, we're going to ensure that the drive is programmed perfectly for your application so that we are not pumping any more pressure than what's required, and we're going to ensure that we're getting the most value out of the drive, which is going to save you the most amount of money in electricity. Hey, if you're in southern Minnesota, western Wisconsin, or Iowa, and you're in need of anything center pivot related, whether it be a variable frequency drive or parts and service, give us a call. We work on all brands, and we'll be happy to work on yours. Thanks for watching.